Hey gang, Mark here. Welcome to another edition of Coming Soon, in which I will show and discuss with and to you things that are coming soon on Blu-ray and DVD. So I just got a fresh box of stuff in. I'm going to go through a few things I've gotten more recently that are probably going to be coming to you a little bit sooner than the stuff in the box. But at any rate, we're just going to randomly look at this stuff, and it is a joy of mutual discovery because I don't even know what half of this stuff is yet. So I have something in my lap that I have looked at, and this is very impressive. This is the new or coming soon 4K UHD edition of Jeff Lieberman's Blue Sunshine from Synapse Films. It is in a nice, sturdy, one of those, come in? One of those sturdy boxes. And I'm going to slice it open very carefully and show you what's inside this. But first, let me tell you, do you know Blue Sunshine? Basically, it's about all these people who had took some form of acid back in the 60s, and it is now the 70s, and they're all adults and respectable people, and that acid is kicking in hard and driving them into murderous, insane maniacs. So it's a family film and a documentary. So that's the basic idea of the film here. It is rated R, 1977 color, 95 minutes, disc specifications. You get a 4K HD UHD disc and you get a Blu-ray disc. 4K UHD is in 185 presentation, DTS HD MA English 5.1 and 2.0 with optional, that's audio with optional English SDH subtitles. The Blu-ray is the same, but it's a Blu-ray. Oh, and it comes with a CD soundtrack, which is cool. I love it when Synapse does that, when they put out like the Argento films and they'll give you like everything to do with the movie. You get however many versions of the film, you get a 4K, you get a Blu-ray, and then you get the soundtrack too. It just saves you from having to hunt down the soundtrack. It is rated R, so I'm gonna, let me read you the extras that are on this. So get comfortable, it's gonna be a long one. Exclusive limited edition cardboard slipcase packaging featuring new artwork by Res Benscoder, which is what I just showed you. 4K restoration of the original 35mm camera negative remastered in Dolby Vision HDR10 compatible, if that applies to you. Lossless English DTS HD Master Audio original theatrical mono, which is always appreciated when you get the original flat sound. If you're somebody like me who has a TV that just has a sound bar or just has the speakers built in, the 5.1 is a huge PITA, as the youth once said, because the dialogue is almost always mixed too low, and you have to, everybody says, oh, just turn up your center speaker. Well, if you don't have a center speaker, you're running a live mix on your remote. Every time somebody talks, you have to turn it up. Every time anything happens, you have to turn it down. Huge pitta, as they say. So it's nice that that's included when it's available. 5.1 surround mix supervised by director Jeff Lieberman. 2 audio commentaries featuring director Jeff Lieberman. New introduction to the film by director Jeff Lieberman. Archival 2003 interview with director Jeff Lieberman. Lieberman on Lieberman. If you were the kind of person to play a drinking game, you would be deceased by the time I stopped reading the packaging for the word Lieberman. Who's a very cool guy. It's always fun to listen to. He's got a great autobiography called Night of the Living Me that's well worth a read. Lieberman on Lieberman video interview, Channel Z Fantasy Film Festival interview with Mick Garris and director Jeff Lieberman. Fantasia Film Festival 4K premiere Q&A with moderator Michael Gingold, a close personal friend of mine, and director Jeff Lieberman. Anti-drug scare films. Oh, cool. LSD 25 from 1967 and LSD Insight or Insanity from 1968, courtesy of the American Genre Film Archive. Great folks. Jeff Lieberman's first film, The Ringer. Oh, I've read about this in his autobiography. Included here in 2 versions, the original uncut version from a projection print source and the final release version remastered in 4K by, this is insane, but 4K by Synapse Films from the original camera negative with optional audio commentary on the uncut version by Jeff Lieberman and moderator Howard S. Berger. Theatrical trailers, still gallery, liner notes booklet by Jeff Lieberman featuring a chapter on the making of Blue Sunshine from the book Day of the Living Me, Adventures of a Subversive Cult Filmmaker from the Golden Age, and a limited edition fold-out poster. So now I reach for the blade, and I carefully, while you look at the top of my face, slice this open because I like to keep things nice. I'm particular, and this is a really nice package that I don't want to muck up with this sharp implement. So Blue Sunshine's a movie I've seen a bunch of times over the years. I don't know if I've ever owned it. I might have owned the DVD. It's one that Synapse has released a multitude of times. Always, like, each version always looks better than the last. They had a really cool multiple disc DVD version that had like this really neat silver cover. And I want to say they've been including the soundtrack with this movie. I don't think this is the first time they've done that. So we have the nice, really nice painted cover. This slips out to reveal the inner packaging. and and that slips out to reveal the disc, which looks. This is sort of what one of the previous versions looked like. Front and back, cracker open, and we see this, the Synapse Films catalog, the ever thickening Synapse. This is hefty. Synapse Films catalog. We have in here Tripping on Blue Sunshine by Jeff Lieberman, the booklet, which has it's cool. It's got like behind the scenes photos from the film and all that. We have the poster, the aforementioned. Ooh, this is nice. The aforementioned poster. Facsimile of the original poster, which is very cool. We have a lot. So this soundtrack, 4K Blu-ray, and then if we take these out carefully, genteelly, we see. I'm a sucker for the clear case so that they can put something. There's the original LSD Guru in there. So Blue Underground, sorry, not Blue Underground, Blue Sunshine, a fun movie, fun exploitation 70s movie that has seen many releases, and I do not doubt that this will be the definitive release. Will it be the last release of Blue Sunshine? Well, you know, if 8K comes along or another couple Ks, we may see a better version of it, but I'm going to guess this is probably pretty much the definitive one for now. So as always, if you want to know any more about anything I'm talking about, look at the description under the YouTube video. I put all of the info about street dates and releasing companies and the Amazon links in there. If you click the Amazon links, that will give you all the specs. And usually if you're pre-ordering these, Amazon usually is running like about a 30% discount. If you choose to order through those Amazon links, I get a little tiny slice of that. Like I get like a couple cents if you order that, and that keeps me in cool AGFA t-shirts and Cannonball Run hats. So up next, being released soon or nearly soon from Severin Films, Fear in the Philippines, the complete Blood Island films. You know about the Blood Island films? You've got Terror is a Man. You got Brides of Blood. You got Mad Doctor of Blood Island. You got Beast of Blood. There was these fun, sleazy, junky, trashy monster movies that were made in the Philippines in the late 60s into the 70s. And Eddie Romero, I think, did some or most of them. And they're just fun. They've been released many times over the years. They've released, I think, in a previous box set by Severin. It might not have all been just the Blood Island films. I think it might have been a Philippines horror collection, and then they busted them out individually. And now we have this. So again, come in. We have a nice hard case cover with a little bit of gloss, if you can see it there, front and the back, and it slips out to reveal the disc with that classic zombie pulling its own head off artwork there, front and the back. I will tell you what you're going to get from this. We have 4 features with 2 discs restored with improved color and sound, always appreciated. Between 1959 and 1971, Filipino filmmakers Eddie Romero and Jerry De Leon, along with Hemisphere Pictures marketing Hemisphere Pictures, which later he went on to do Independent International. Marketing consultant Samuel M. Sherman unleashed the monsters and mayhem quartet that remains among the most deliriously schlocky horror classics of all time. Series launched with Terror is a Man, which I actually just watched the other night. A quite terrifying, according to the New York Times, take on the island of Dr. Moreau, starring Francis Lederer from The Return of Dracula. Brides of Blood stars John Ashley from the Twilight People, who also went on to be the narrator and producer of the A-Team in the 80s, and he was in Beach Blanket Bingo, and he was in High School Confidential and all kinds of JD films. He went to the Philippines and became very popular making films there. And Beverly Powers from Speedway, in a taboo-smashing orgy of violence, nudity, and depraved nuptials. Sounds like a fine Saturday night to me. Ashley and Angelique Pettyjohn, the curious female she was in a Star Trek episode, then she went on to adult work, star in Mad Doctor of Blood Island, one of the greatest, nastiest, goriest films of the 60s, says Dangerous Minds. Beast singular of Blood, stars Ashley and Celeste Yarnell of The Velvet Vampire in the most exciting and aggressive of all the Blood Island movies, according to 1,000 Misspent Hours, newly scanned from a 35mm print by the Library of Congress. I love that there is a print of Brides of Blood being stored in the august collection of the Library of Congress. And I'm not saying that jokingly. I think it's fabulous. All 4 films have been scanned uncut in 4K with improved color and audio and include over 8 combined hours of special features. So let me tell you about the extras. Terror is a Man has Man Becomes Creature interview with Hemisphere marketing consultant Samuel M. Sherman. Samuel M. Sherman, who has a lifetime of stories. I've met the man. I used to buy or rent the old Arrow video releases of these movies, the Sam Sherman, the Blood Island, the Al Adamson films, most of which I didn't really care for, but I would watch the movies just to have context for the Sam Sherman commentaries, which were fabulous. Dawn of Blood Island, interview with co-director Eddie Romero. Terror Creature, interview with Pete Toombs, co-author of Immoral Tales. When the Bell Rings, interview with critic Mark Holcomb. Trailer, poster, and still gallery. That was all for Terror is a Man. For Brides of Blood, we have an audio commentary with Hemisphere marketing consultant Sam Sherman. Jungle Fury, interview with co-director Eddie Romero. Here Comes the Bride, interview with Hemisphere marketing consultant. I'm just going to say interview with Sam Sherman at this point. Beverly Hills on Blood Island, interview with actress Beverly Powers. Alternate takes of Blood Island title sequence and Jungle Fury title card. Teaser, trailer, poster, and still gallery. For Mad Doctor of Blood Island, we have an audio commentary with film historians Nathaniel Thompson and Howard S. Berger. They're always great. Audio commentary with Sam Sherman. Tombs of the Living Dead, interview with Pete Toombs, co-author of Immoral Tales. A Taste of Blood, interview with critic Mark Holcomb. The Mad Doctor of Blood Island, Mad Director of Blood Island, interview with co-director Eddie Romero. Trailer, poster, and still gallery. And then on Beast of Blood, we have a commentary with Sam Sherman. We have Celeste and the Beast, interview with actress Celeste Yarnell. Dr. Lorca's Blood Devils, interview with actor Eddie Garcia. Super 8 Digest version, which is cool. If you don't know what a Super 8 Digest was, the earliest form of home video was film. And it was sometimes it was 16 millimeter, sometimes it was 8 or Super 8, and you could buy them in various lengths. They were usually silent, and they would be condensed versions of the film. So if you were a kid, and you only had a little bit of money to spend, you'd get a 50-foot reel of film, which ran about 3 minutes. Then you might get a 200-foot reel, which ran about 15 minutes, or you could get a 400-foot reel, which ran about 20. My timing may be off. The 200 might have been about 10 minutes. Anyway, various lengths of the film that were condensed. That was a way to sort of re-experience the film at home, pre-home video. And trailer, radio spot, poster, and still gallery. It is all region, so region A, B, C on these. You can play these anywhere in the world. And I'm very excited about these. These are films I've seen off and on over the years, but I haven't really sat down and watched in earnest, or in earnest Scared Stupid for that matter, and I'm looking forward to watching them. So that comes soon. Up next, we have, from Cleopatra Entertainment, Dark Sanctuary, The Story of the Church. And it uses, I'm very happy to say, it uses the Dark Shadows font on that. The shocking story of one of the longest-running goth clubs in the U.S. and transgressive community of artists and misfits who call the Dallas, Texas club The Church their sanctuary. Through interviews with world-famous music artists, local bands, and patrons, the film tells the story of the nearly 3 decades of the legendary club's existence. Featured interviews Joe Virus, Don Nedler, Kevin Key of Skinny Puppy, Patrick Cottonese of Front 242, Bill Leb of Frontline Assembly, Rubber Doll, Paul Oakenfold, Adrelo Volateri, and Claude S. of Anything Box. Pardon me for the mangling. Bonus features, we have the trailer, we have uncut celebrity interviews, solemn assembly music videos. It runs, does this say how long this runs? Sometimes they really kind of bury that information here. Running time is 86 minutes. It is unrated, and this is all region. I don't think that Unearthed usually does anything too ornate inside their packaging, but for the benefit of those who like to hear the sound of crinkling shrink wrap, this, as somebody in another profession might say, this opening's for you. So look at the little security sticker on the top, which thieves simply slice the top of and pop the disc out. Do they even do that anymore? Are discs even like hot property anymore? It's one of those things where I used to feel weird. I used to be super protective of the stuff in my house, and I would always keep the shades pulled. I didn't want anybody to see my stereo. I didn't want anybody to see my TV, until I realized, this was several years ago, that nobody wants to steal an 8-track player, nobody wants to steal a turntable, and nobody wants to steal a 4x3 19-inch tube television. So that's just the inside, nothing too fancy there. That is out through Cleopatra Entertainment sometime relatively soon. Look below to find out. Up next, we have, from the director of Lawnmower Man, Virtuosity, and Man-Thing, from Unearthed Films, Feed. Now, I did read the back of the box to this, and this sounds gruesome. So intensely grotesque and shocking as hell. It says it all right there. Feed is a heavyweight thrill ride through the depths of depravity. A veteran of cyber porn investigations, Australian cop Philip Jackson, no stranger to the dangerous side of sexual fetishes. He may have found his sickest case yet when he discovers a sinister side to an American website devoted to fat, admiring men and obese women called feeders and gainers. Could the man behind it all be force-feeding missing women to death? Ted Stark and deeply disturbing director Brett Leonard of the aforementioned films I mentioned afore takes the crime thriller genre to a twisted, gut-wrenching new level. Consumption is evolution. This sounds like a rough one. Extras on this include commentary by director Brett Leonard, deleted scenes with commentary by the director, alternate ending with commentary by the director, feed US cut, additional deleted and extended scenes, outtakes, final day interviews with director, interviews with Alex O'Loughlin, Jack Thompson, and producer Melissa Beauford, Feed in Philadelphia, the North American featurette, behind the scenes footage, infomercial, photo gallery, original theatrical trailer. This is Region A, and it is 185 aspect ratio, 101 minutes, 5.1 DTS MA, and 2.0 PCM English subtitles for those who need them. And let's slice open Feed and take a look. This sounds like sort of an extrapolation of one of the gruesome scenes in Seven from many years ago. I mean, I know that whole feeder thing is a thing. I'd heard about that. I did not know that there was a film based around that, and I may never be the same once I finish watching this. Probably not going to watch this while eating, I'm guessing. This is not one that would go over well at the Alamo Drafthouse. So, slipcase slips to reveal the same cover on the inside, front and back the same, and it is a slightly different picture there. So, that is Feed, coming soon. Up next, we haven't even gotten to the box that arrived yesterday. We have Everything Will Be All Right, a film by Stanislav Tokalovs, a digital record of the director's own family over 4 years, touching and sincere. This is from Indiepix Unlimited, which puts these out on DVD, but they also have a Prime Video channel called Indiepix Unlimited where you can stream these things. So they're usually, I'm not going to bother to open this up because the insides of these are just pretty simple. It's just the same cover on the disc. So the nonfiction debut from award-winning Latvian writer-director, I'm sorry if I mangle the name, Stanislavs Tokalovs, Everything Will Be All Right, welcomes viewers into the everyday life of the filmmaker's immediate family who are members of the Russian-speaking community in Pervixiums, totally wrong on that, a suburb outside Riga. 90-year-old Nina is the clan's matriarch, a World War II veteran who came to Latvia in 1955. Her offspring, Irina, is a university lecturer torn between her husband's tirades, her mother's needs, and her 18-year-old daughter's desires as an aspiring artist, together with cinematographer and co-writer Valdis Clemens. Again, Selman's, I'm going to ruin all these names. Tokalovs presents an intimate look at the various internal and external conflicts affecting these individuals without promising everything will be all right. The film unravels vital questions about integration, collective memory, propaganda, and the war of identities that affects many, both in Latvia and around the world. This is from 2023. It is presented 16:9 from Latvia. It's in Russian and Latvian with English subtitles. 95 minutes, a documentary. In that case, that wasn't clear. 2.0 stereo, not rated, and this is a DVD. So again, this is available on DVD or as Indiepix Unlimited streaming. Then we have from our good friends at Eureka Entertainment, part of their Masters of Cinema collection, we have Legend of the Eight Samurai. This is a samurai film, martial arts film. This is, let's see, I'll give you a little bit from the back of the box. Japanese box office sensation directed by the revered Kinji Fukasaku, who did Battle Royale, so he knows something about making a good movie. Legend of the Eight Samurai brings together an impressive ensemble cast, including Hiroko Yakushimaru from Sailor Suit and Machine Gun. I apologize to the Japanese people as a whole for what I'm about to do to these names. Hiroki Sanada from Ring, Sunny Chiba, Message from Space, and Etsuko Shihomi from Sister Street Fighter in a sweeping epic that blends fantasy and historical drama. And this is from 1983, Japanese, 136 minutes, 185 original aspect ratio. It is in HD. It is region A and B, so this will play both in England, the UK, and America, North America. The limited edition Blu-ray, which is what I'm showing you and talking to you about right now, features the O-Card slipcase with new artwork by Chris Malbon, original Japanese stereo HD DHTS HDMA 5.1 options, alternate English dubbed audio track, optional English subtitles, new audio commentary by Japanese cinema expert Joe Hickenbottom, always looking for the new interview with Kinji Fukasaku's son, filmmaker Kenta Fukasaku, Trials of the Eight Samurai, new video essay by film historian and critic Stuart Galbraith IV, Japanese trailer, plus a collector's booklet featuring a new essay by Tom Mess, co-founder of Midnight Eye, who knows his stuff around Asian cinema. So, slipcase slips, to reveal a different cover. Very cool cover, actually. Front and back there. Mind the reflection. As always, for Eureka, the disc itself is not too fancy. We have little bit of a booklet, not too thick, but we've got nice little inlet there, inlay. And then we have the booklet with cool picture, Sonny Chiba. Hey, look, Sonny Chiba's in this movie. Booklet with images that are taken from original stills or new scans of the film and writing. The booklets, I always say, I'm very impressed by booklets these days because there was a time where the booklet would just be, hey, it's a chapter index, or hey, it's the same stuff that's already contained in all the extras. There's no new information here. Booklets now seem to really be worth it, and additional supplemental information and really good writing by intelligent film critics. So I appreciate the booklets. Okay, now we're getting to the box that just arrived the other day. So I'm reaching in. I don't know what any of this is. I haven't opened them yet. Okay, from Neon Eagle Video, we have Ninja Terminator. What is Ninja Terminator? Ooh, this looks fun, even from the photo on the front. As anyone who has seen the film knows, a description of the plot is almost impossible. Thank you, just saved me time. More or less, a group of ninjas complete to control the ultimate artifact of their craft, the Golden Ninja Warrior statue, not to be confused with Ninja Warrior on TV. Meanwhile, a secret agent tries to bust up the organized crime ring that is somehow connected to the statue, but really the plot is beside the point. Rather, it's a constant display of cheesy insanity on screen that will keep you hooked from the first minute until the final battle. That's all I ask for, really. After years of ugly-looking and legally dubious copies of the film making the rounds, we are hugely excited to present to you the first ever authorized disc release of Ninja Terminator in North America, restored from a 4K scan of the original negative. Wow. And its proper widescreen aspect ratio, along with a host of commentaries and interviews to provide the proper context for this unique film experience. Thank you, Neon Eagle Video. This is region ABC, which means this will work anywhere in the world, from Nebraska to Nigeria. You pop this in your player, it's just going to play. Let's see, it's directed by Godfrey Ho, Hong Kong film, 1984, 90 minutes. It is 239 widescreen, English 2.0 mono, optional English SDH subtitles. It stars Richard Harrison, Zhong Li Huang, Philip Ko, Maria Francesca, Jack Lam, James Chan, Tae-Lu Jun Lee, and Simon Kim. And our special features are an audio commentary by Kenneth Borison and Phil Gillian of the podcast on Fire Network. Audio commentary, that's second, 2 audio commentaries. And another by Asian film experts, Arnie Venema and Mike Leader, who are always great. They're so involved with production in Hong Kong, and they know so many people that their commentaries are always fun. They're always like a little dishy, little fun. And Ninja Master, interview with director Godfrey Ho. Golden Ninja Dubs, interview with Godfrey Ho and dubber, interesting, Simon Broad. Ninja Mania, How Ninjas Invaded the West, interview with Chris Pajali, co-author of These Fist Breaks Bricks, who's actually a friend of mine, which is cool, and the trailers. So we will pop this open and see if there are any goodies. I see a clear case here, so that probably means there's some fun stuff in here. So Ninja Terminator, this is part of that wave of ninja films that exploded in the 80s that tended to often star like a Caucasian for some reason as a ninja, which always seemed a little silly to me. So we crack it open. And there we are. We literally crack it open. We've got a little replica of the cover there on the disc. And then we have what I'm presuming is a replication of the original video cover on the inside there. So looking forward to this one. It wasn't a genre that I really got into when I was a kid, back when these were new and hitting video. They always seemed a little cheesy to me. And part of it was that it was like a, Caucasian guy as a ninja always seemed a little off. So this is one that a lot of people are waiting for. On 4K Ultra HD from Red Shirt Pictures and Synapse Films, we have Trick or Treat. Not Trick or Treats, not Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat. This is the film from the 80s about the dead rock star who comes back from beyond the grave because Skippy from Family Ties, Mark Price, plays a record backwards, and this evil like rock star or ghost zombie whatever comes back and kills people with the power of metal. And the film stars all kinds of heavy metal and rock people in cameos. You get Gene Simmons in it, you got Ozzy Osbourne in it somewhere. It's a really goofy movie that has a huge following. It's really grown over the years. It's a nice kind of, you could probably not tell, nice little, excuse me, I get choked up when I talk about Trick or Treat. But little metallic sheen to the cover. So, what are you afraid of? It's only rock and roll. I'm not going to read you the plot because I just did. I'm just going to tell you what the extras. We have hard rockin' special features. I know this was one that was in the works for a long time. This was not available on disc for a long time. I don't know that it ever has had a US Blu-ray release, but this is certainly to be, it's Synapse and it's red shirt, so this is certainly going to put to bed any other copy of this you have, unless you want a 4x3 full frame version. This was treated like it was public domain for a while, like a lot of like super bottom of the barrel companies, or at least one, put this out on, sorry about the reflection, put this out on DVD for like super cheap, and it was just basically they took the videotape and they put it on a DVD. So if you're super nostalgic for how the old videotape looks, maybe you want to keep that, but I'm going to guess this is really the one to clear the shelf of any other copy of Trick or Treat. 4K restoration from the original 35 camera negative, mastered in Dolby Vision, HDR10 compatible, and approved by director of photography Robert Elswit. Lossless English DTH master audio of the original 2.0 theatrical mix and an all-new 5.1 surround mix. Audio commentary with director Charles Martin Smith, he was an actor for the longest time. He's in Never Cry Wolf, and he's in American Graffiti and a lot of other stuff. And then he became like a pretty successful director for a while. Moderated by filmmaker Mark Savage. Audio interviews with the writer-producer Michael S. Murphy and writer Rhett Topham, moderated by film historian Michael Felsher, who's the head of Red Shirt Pictures. Audio conversation with Paul Krupp and Allison Lang, authors of Satanic Panic, Pop Cultural Paranoia in the 80s, Rock and Shock, the making of Trick or Treat, an all-new retrospective featuring an all-new retrospective, and it is a featurette, featuring director Charles Martin Smith, actors Mark Price, Glenn Morgan, Elsie Richards, and Larry Sprinkle, producer Joel Sisson, costume denier. Wow, if I had to speak aloud for pay, I'd be very poor. Which I am. Costume designer Jill Olinson, assistant set costumer Francine DeCourcy, it's like the people who put these things out know that I just always mangle names, and they're like, we're going to put as many names into the back cover copy as possible, and then we're going to watch his videos. Construction foreman Tom Jones Jr., special makeup effects artist Everett Burrell, music executive producer Stephen E. Smith, composer Christopher Young, and a special appearance by Gene Simmons, the demon himself. In the Spotlight, a tribute to Tony Fields featuring interviews with the late actor's family and friends, Horror's Hallowed Grounds, the filming locations of Trick or Treat with Sean Clark, After Midnight music video, theatrical trailers, TV spots, radio spots, still gallery featuring the optional audio interview with still photographer Philip V. Caruso, video electronic press kit. This is rated R from 1986 in color, 97 minutes. It is region, did I say that already? I think this is just region A. So let's open this up. I know, as I said, there was like a pre-sale of this. I think Synapse themselves did an early online sale of it, and it had something exclusive. It might have been an exclusive slipcase. I do know that sold out. What I'm showing you here is the retail version that will be available whenever it will be available. As always, check the information under the video. So slipcase slips to reveal the same cover. Nice black case there. Then we will, for those of you who like the sound of crinkling plastic, a little bit more coming your way. We take that off, open it up, and what do we got? We have the hefty Synapse Films catalog. And is this just one disc or is this two? Let's see. This is one disc, and it is a picture of Ozzy Osbourne as an evangelist on TV. So but wait, there's more. We have a reversible cover. So there is, which I believe is what the album cover looked like. I don't know if that was the box cover. I can't really remember what the video box cover looked like, but reversible sleeves. So Synapse cares. They give you a lot of fun stuff. So up next is my growling stomach. We have two films from Eureka. I believe these are Shaw Brothers films. The Daredevils and Ode to Gallantry. I love that we are in this new golden age of Hong Kong releases. It's insane. I was just watching a new Arrow disc last night, or an upcoming Arrow disc of a Japanese erotic thriller from the early 70s. I have on my pile so many of these kind of things, and it's just coming at you from all sides now. It's Arrow, it's Eureka, it's 88, it's Radiance, it's Criterion is doing it. There are just so many companies putting out classic Asian cinema, or classic era, I think. I say classic, not modern era Asian cinema. And they're all doing like these amazing jobs. It's not hunting down bootlegs in Chinatown, or hunting down maybe translated or poorly translated in copies of the stuff in Chinatown like it used to be, or having to import discs. It's a flood coming our way. So these are two films, and let's read about what they are, because I don't know. We have, during his long and industrious career, the godfather of Hong Kong cinema, Chang Cheh made several films which celebrated the VENOM mob, a group of skilled martial arts performers including Lu Feng, Chang Sheng, Philip Kwok, Sun Qian, and Lo Mang, and Wai Pak, who rose to fame as stars of their own 5 Deadly Venoms. Stars on of his 5 Deadly Venoms. Wow. Getting hungry. Here, Eureka Classics presents the two Venom mob's best, two of their best, the Daredevils and Ode to Gallantry. Set in Republic-era China, the Daredevils follows Yang Daying, who's portrayed by Lo Mang, as he sets out to avenge his father. It's always better if there's revenge involved. A military commander who was murdered in cold blood by Han Pei Chang, portrayed by Wong Lik, a thief-turned-soldier who killed Yang's father along with the rest of his family to take control of the estate and army. There's more to it, but it's a revenge movie. After filming 1978 after filming in... I could edit these, but why bother? Don't you enjoy watching someone fail verbally? After forming in 1978 for 5 Deadly Venoms, the Venom mob made over a dozen films with Chang Cheh that featured at least three of their number in starring roles, filled with thrilling action set pieces courtesy of some of the most talented martial artists to emerge in the 70s. The Daredevils and Ode to Gallantry are two of the finest films that they made. I didn't tell you what Ode to Gallantry was about. A lost drifter named Mongrel, Philip Kwok, is continually drawn into an intense struggle between several warring martial arts clans after he stumbles across the Black Iron Token, which entitles the owner to have any wish granted by Ji Yang Kei, portrayed by Wong Lik, a brutal kung fu master. These two movies sound fabulous. What are the extras on this? So we have the limited edition O-Card slipcase featuring new artwork by Chris Malbon. We have original Mandarin audio. The Daredevils has the optional English dub, optional English subtitles, newly translated for this release. We always appreciate that, so they're comprehensible, because sometimes they weren't in the old days. New audio commentaries on both films by East Asian film expert Frank Zheng, who's always great, and martial artist and filmmaker Michael Worth, who's great, who they work together on. I happen to have it here, this amazing documentary, Enter the Clones of Bruce, about the Bruceploitation films, and they collaborated on the amazing Severin Films box set of Bruceploitation films. Deadly Venom's new interview with Hong Kong cinema scholar Wayne Wong on the Venom mob, plus a limited edition collector's booklet featuring a new essay by writer and critic James Oliver. So I fumbled my way through that. That is the slipcase. It slips off with some difficulty. You don't take the wrapper off right to reveal, ooh, different cover. That's just for the Daredevils. And it wraps around. And then we have disc surface, booklet. Disc reveals. Okay, interesting. So you could flip it one way or the other. You had there's Ode to Gallantry and Daredevils there, and then we get the booklet, which has that article in it, and cool. It's got like posters. I love this stuff. You know, it's one of those things where I'm never going to be able to collect vintage Kung Fu movie posters and Kung Fu movie soundtracks and all that other stuff. So the more that they can tuck into these releases, that gives me a semblance of that. I don't have, I've got a lot of wall space here, but I have so many posters. I could wallpaper the floor, ceiling, and walls and everything, skylights with it. So to be able to get even smaller versions of those posters tucked in, and the mini posters they put in, and if they throw the soundtrack in, it's as a collector and somebody who wants it all, it's nice to have it in one package, you know? Quackster Fortune Has a Cousin in the Bronx, one of the most memorable film titles of the 70s, is coming to Blu-ray from VCI. This stars Gene Wilder and Margot Kidder. This is a film that I'm pretty sure I saw years and years ago when it appeared on local TV some afternoon, and I was just trying to watch any and everything I could get my eyes on. And let's find out what it's about. My memory is that it's sort of a romantic comedy drama from that era. Reminiscent of Harold and Maude and Start the Revolution Without Me, this gentle comedy is a story of a man out of step with the world. I'm going to guess that's Gene Wilder. Marching to the beat of his own drum, Quackster Fortune Wilder earns his living by following the horse-drawn delivery wagons of Dublin, scooping up the droppings and selling it as fertilizer. Margot Kidder is Zazzle, and the American exchange student who finds herself drawn to this unlearned but not unknowing man. It's 90 minutes in color, 1970 rated PG. Back when you could have a movie that wasn't aimed at kids that would be PG, it was PG just because it didn't have anything offensive in it. This is presented in 1331, which means square, 4x3, English with optional English SDH subtitles. It has a commentary by Robert Kelly, a photo gallery, and a trailer. This is region A, B, and C, so this will play anywhere in the world. From VCI Entertainment. It's directed by Waris Hussein with Gene Wilder, Margot Kidder, Ellen Colgan, Seamus Ford, May Aldis, and Liz Davis. That's funny. So this is apparently set, I don't remember much about this, set overseas, but I always thought it was having the word Bronx, I thought it was a Bronx film. So just a picture from the film. But I love that stuff keeps coming out like this, movies that are pretty under the radar, but they're getting a new release, so you don't have to try to hunt down a ropey copy online. Everyone Loathes a Clown, 100 Tears Director's Cut from Unearthed Films. I know nothing about this, so let's find out together. After being accused of crimes he did not commit, a lonely circus performer enacts his revenge on those who unjustly condemned him. The act sparks something inside of him which he cannot stop, and now years later his inner demons have truly surfaced. Part urban legend, part tabloid sensationalism, he is now an unstoppable murderous juggernaut fueled only by hate. Going to the circus will never be the same. This features an audio commentary with director Marcus Koch and Stephen Biro. Original cut interview with director. There's the director's cut, or you could watch the original theatrical cut or the original release cut. I don't know that this played theatrically. I kind of doubt it. Original behind the scenes, additional behind the scenes, original behind the scenes, additional behind the scenes, deleted scenes, outtakes, Marcus Koch's Hollywood childhood short films, which are always fun to see, and trailers. This is 95 minutes, 1:7:1 aspect ratio, in color, 2.0 PCM English language, English subtitles. It is from 2007 originally, and this is region A, which means that will play in North America. Slice it open. Got a couple more to go. This is running long. I thank you for your commitment to sit and discover these things with me. I think this runs long. Imagine how much time it takes me to watch all this stuff to review it. So inside, just a simple disc. And that's from Unearthed Films. If you want to know where and when and more, again, hit the Amazon link. 2 more to go. Okay, this is one that's interesting. I saw a little of this when we ran it at the Mahoning as part of Tromathon. Tromathon? That's what we call it. Tromathon. Every year we have, I work at the Mahoning Drive-In Theater in Lehighton, Pennsylvania, and we have Troma Entertainment comes out every year for a weekend, and Lloyd Kaufman comes out, and the Toxic Avenger and Sarah are there, and filmmakers of the films we're showing are there, and they show some short films, and then they show like Troma classics, some on 35, some digitally, and we did the world drive-in premiere of this film. This is Eating Miss Campbell from recently. I'll tell you more about it. And I remember, I'm not generally a fan of Troma films. I respect Lloyd, great guy, and Troma for what they've done and what they do and the fact that they still exist and they've got such a huge following, but they're not really to my taste. But I did look up at the screen at one point when I wasn't working the night we were showing Eating Miss Campbell, and it looked really well made. So that's why I did ask to see this one. So Nostalgia is Cancer, this says. Lloyd Kaufman and Michael Hertz present a Troma team production from director Liam Regan, who's a great guy. What is more poetic and American than a high school massacre? Well, meet Beth Connor, an 18-year-old angst-filled goth vegan who's attempted every form of suicide imaginable, but instead of dying, she wakes up in a low-budget horror movie. Beth's only wish is to find love, wake up in a romantic comedy, and escape the horror movie genre once and for all. Meanwhile, English teacher Miss Campbell, the titular Miss Campbell, joins the ranks of Henenlotter High nice reference, and inspires Beth to annihilate the toxic patriarchy within the hallowed halls of her school. Beth soon finds herself falling into a taboo relationship with her teacher, Miss Campbell, whilst simultaneously craving a cannibalistic taste for human flesh in this twisted, traumatic tale of sex, suicide, and school shootings. Fun for the whole family. Producer Lloyd Kaufman and writer-director Liam Regan have lovingly created a twisted trauma team production for the 21st century where high school shootings and cannibalism collide in this gut-busting, gore-soaked punk rock horror comedy that gives the middle finger to every boundary socially constructed by the mainstream establishment. If you don't know about Lloyd Kaufman, he makes, produces, and releases pretty dumb, gross movies, but they always have some rather biting social comment in them. It's like Roger Corman in the old days. He's like, you'd watch the nurse movies or the student teacher movies or whatever, and you'd think they were just these TNA films, but suddenly they're talking about, revolutionaries or feeding the poor or something like that. So the trauma films most of the time have a little something more going on upstairs than you expect. So special features, audio commentary, 7 Days of Hell, making of documentary, deleted scenes, outtakes, gore reel, raw B-roll, cast interviews, Fright Fest premiere, 1 hour of raw behind the scenes footage, VFX reel, introduction from Lloyd Kaufman, trauma trailers, Radiation March, which is a little thing that they put on all their discs, and more. It is featuring music by Tom Green, Wheatus, The Black Halos, Twisted, Hands Off Gretel, Die So Fluid, Unquiet Dead, Lesbian Bad Death, Delia Blabon, Our Enemy, and Boda. Region A, B, and C, so this will play anywhere in the world that you pop it in. And let's see what's inside. I don't know that these often have much on the way of inside, but they do tend to load their discs up with a lot of extras, whether they're related to the movie or related to Lloyd or trauma or whatever. So let's see. Yep, just a simple artwork on the disc. Nothing big there. It's so weird to say. It's a trauma movie I'm looking forward to watching. And then, we have from Blue Underground, a company I love and have loved since their DVD days. We have 4K UHD and Blu-ray VENOM, a film that I don't know if I've ever seen. It's a film that Blue Underground has put out in the past. A lot of what Bill Lustig is doing with Blue Underground now is not so much releasing new titles so often as taking the titles that he has licensed in the past and that he has put out on DVD or Blu-ray and giving them like really nice 4K upgrades and throwing some new extras on there and porting over the old extras. So they're usually worth picking up if you like the original version. If you didn't get the original version, they're obviously the one to get. But if you did and you like the movie, you usually want to go up. So The Mystery of the Birds, The Danger of Psycho, The Evil of the Omen, The Terror of Jaws, now The Ultimate in Suspense. It's always a bold move to quote a bunch of classics on the poster for your movie. Let's see, what is this about? I don't remember. Behind the drapes, between the walls, in your bed, a thriller to make your skin crawl. It was supposed to be the perfect crime. The sexy maid, Susan George of Straw Dogs, a psychotic chauffeur, Oliver Reed of The Brood, and an international terrorist, Klaus Kinski of Nosferatu, kidnap a wealthy 10-year-old boy from his elegant London townhouse. But they didn't count on a murdered cop, past tense, a desperate hostage sees, and one very unexpected house desk, a furious black mamba, the most lethal and aggressive snake known to nature. It can attack from 10 feet away. Its bite brings excruciating death, and it is on the loose. Now, terror knows no antidote, and the ultimate in slithering mayhem is Venom. So, let's see. I won't go farther than that with it. It is from 1982 in color, 92 minutes. It is an Ultra HD, widescreen 1:8:5 aspect ratio. It is an all-region disc, so it will play anywhere. It has English audio, Dolby Atmos, English 5.1 DTS HD, English 2.0 DTS HD, and English SDH subtitles, as well as French and Spanish subtitles. Extras. This is a 2-discer. Disc 1 is the 4K disc. You get an audio commentary with director Piers Haggard. You get a new audio commentary with film historians Troy Howarth, Nathaniel Thompson, and Eugenio Orcolani, who are always great. And you get trailers. Disc 2 is the Blu-ray, so you get the same movie on disc 2. If you don't have a 4K, you still can watch this. And you get the same 2 commentaries, so if you don't have a 4K, you're not missing out on the commentaries. You get a new featurette, Fangs for the Memories, interview with editor, second unit director Michael Brasdell. You get a new, so these are like all new extras. A Slithery Story interview with makeup artist Nick Dudman. Mamba, again, new Mamba Memories interview with author and critic Kim Newman, who's always great. new Pick Your Poison interview with the Dark Side's Alan Bryce. You get trailers and TV spots. You get a newly expanded poster and still gallery, and bonus collectible booklet with essay by Michael Gingold, again, a close personal friend of mine. So this is a rated R, and this is a slipcase which slips to reveal a different cover, which I think is the artwork that they may have used the last time around. Front and back. Sorry about all the reflection there. And then we get the 2 discs, Blu-ray and 4K. And then we get our booklet, which is a pretty hefty booklet, if you can tell by that shot. And you get photos from the film, very high quality photos. Oh, cool. Paperback. So photos from the film, the paperback, stills, various posters from around the world. Looks like a really nice set. And again, if I saw this, it was so long ago that I don't remember it, so it's going to be a pretty fresh view when I watch it. So at long last, dear God, it was almost an hour. If you've stayed to the end of this, thank you so much. I hope you found it interesting or exciting or whatever. I think it's kind of cool to show you what you're going to get, because some of this stuff is not going to be coming out as I record this for like a month or two. So first looks, go to the links in the descriptions under this to click over to Amazon if you want to buy any of it, or to find out the street dates, because I don't know what the street dates are off the top of my head. Thank you for watching, and I will see you once again when I have more to talk about that is coming soon.